All right, hey guys. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss all the different types of foods that I avoid as somebody who has Crohn's disease. Since I really think what foods you eat really dictate how you're going to feel at the end of the day and how bad your Crohn's disease is, in my experience. Because changing my diet really helped take away my symptoms at the end of the day. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to say to avoid is processed foods. Any types of packaged foods, especially the ones with like 300 different ingredients on it. Let's see. Seed oils are another thing to avoid. Like a good example of that is vegetable oil or canola oil, because they lead to leaky gut, which will cause your immune system to attack your gut. And your body just can't process it properly. Overly sugary foods like candy, and like ice cream. Also, dairy is also on that list of foods to avoid because they cause, increased inflammation in your body. Let's see. Deep fried foods also, would cause like leaky gut. Let's see. So foods with lectins in them. This is kind of a more tricky part because there's like vegetables in here that you might think are healthy, and they are arguably healthier than like processed foods for sure. But still, lectins can damage your gut and cause leaky gut, also cause your immune system to act up. So foods like potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, I guess you would call these nightshade vegetables. Let's see, cucumbers, beans, corn, brown rice. I know gluten's also on that list of foods to avoid. For me, there's certain nuts I also avoid, like cashews and peanuts. Those seem to cause me irritation in my gut and pain. I would recommend checking out Dr. Gundry's YouTube channel. He has tons of information on foods that are good for the gut, and I'll link it in the description because that's what really helped me figure out what to avoid and what I could and couldn't eat. For me, I also tend to avoid fruit. I think my body has a problem processing fructose. It seems like I can't really have fruit in a large amount. I can only really have it in smaller amounts. And when I do eat fruit, it's mainly like berries. I think those are the least problematic ones for me. So yeah, my diet is very much a keto diet where I'm avoiding any sorts of carbs and sugar for the most part. It's tough for me to find carbs to eat. I think the only carb I really have here and there is like sweet potatoes because those are fine for the gut as far as I know. And I also have beets too. I also avoid drinking alcohol. That's one thing that really seems to affect me. And yeah, I avoid eating gluten, just in case I didn't mention that earlier. So yeah, I wanted to talk about why I avoid all these foods. So there was a point in my life where I actually mainly ate this stuff, which was when I was younger and like a teenager, and throughout, most of my young adult life, I ate like this. That's when my Crohn's disease was the worst. I had to be on immune suppressant medication for the later half of it, and that basically stopped my immune system from acting up and attacking my gut. Even though I was having leaky gut because of all these foods, and when I was younger, before that medication, I was in tons of pain. My body had literally stopped processing food properly. I was getting very skinny, so my body wasn't taking in any nutrients from the food, and I could tell after the fact that the food wasn't being processed properly. My body wasn't digesting it properly, and it was a nightmare. Frankly, it was a nightmare. The doctors didn't really know what medications to give me, and I really think I would have benefited from the time of knowing about, what foods to eat and what not to eat. Even being on medication, it's handy to switch your diet to one that's good for the gut. And all right, so in the future, I will be making a video where I talk about what I do eat on a daily basis and the supplements I take. So definitely follow for more. But here is a quick thing that I'll say of what I do mainly eat. Sticking to meats and cruciferous veggies was like a great solution for me. And now that I have switched my diet, my body, my gut is healed up, and my symptoms are very, very minimal. I'm not in all this pain like I used to be. It's a manageable amount. The only times my Crohn's disease does kind of act up is when I eat foods that I'm really not supposed to be eating. And these days I completely avoid foods that I know will cause me a lot of issues, like alcohol and like fried food. So I don't really go out for fast food. If I go out, sometimes I'll have some Japanese food, maybe like poke or sushi. Seem to be like some of the least problematic stuff I could eat going out. But overall, I try to just eat at home and cook my own food because really it helps me manage my disease, especially as someone who is no longer on medication. Um, but yeah, like I said, you don't have to be off of the medication to eat this way. You could just eat like that while being on the medication. And yeah, so that's really everything I have to say about this. If you guys found it to be helpful, I hope you guys will hit the like button and definitely subscribe for more Crohn's disease related content and just any other advice I have to give, but mainly about health. All right. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great day. All right. Johnny, signing out.